It honestly was like we were surviving.
Everyone has their own story about violence and safety within their own school. The impact of violent events can have on a student is unbelievable, but what about the teachers and staff whose lives are devoted to the classroom? Desiree Hall has spent countless hours with her students trying to find out how to handle the rise of emotions and fear within children.
I do a lot of counseling without counseling. I'm not a licensed counselor, but I just listening to them and I make them, why did you do that? Like, just explain to me. Let me understand where you were in that moment so I can better understand where you're coming from and why you had the reaction that you did.
Hall tries to build off of what students communicate to her. She never knows what kind of home life to expect.
And that's when I learn some traumas, and they'll let me know, they have issues with male teachers because their mom was physically beat by the parent, but I wouldn't know that unless I asked them, why are you so triggered when this person gets near you? And
Jennifer Holland is a co-worker with Hall at Charles Page High School trying to combat violence within their own walls. They have students constantly transferring to online and now struggle to find what material to teach.
I think that we're doing better now of focusing, like making sure that we have what we call essential standards here, like what is so essential that they need to know, and we're not getting to all the fluff. The fluff is important, and there is extra stuff that is important, but right now we're trying to bridge that learning gap.
Online schools can't be the only option for families who want to keep their children safe. Hostility and violence are not only attacking schools from the outside, but it's tearing them apart from within, as seen by Amy Wilson.
I think online school has its place. I think there's for some, I've seen it in families where online has been a resource that they needed at a certain time. But I also know that there's a lot of kids that need to be at school. It's safer for them to be at school. They get fed at school. Their friends are at school. Their only place they're feeling loved is at school.
Students' mental health also suffers while being cooped up at home. Their friendships and social interactions are all sacrificed by online learning. When asked how their year was and how many friends they've made, the Blakely children claim,
A few. I didn't
only
make
made
any.
one.
the negative effect online school has had on children is undeniable, especially on Emily Blakely's family.
Signs of depression in all my children throughout it because it was really stressful. And it was hard to be away from friends and not having peers and having mom be frustrated while trying to explain things that she didn't understand.
Through the struggles of online programs, Hall continues to persevere and build relationships with her students.
the more I listen to them, I get to know these kids so well. And so that's what I love so much about my job. And once you listen to them, it's kind of like they constantly come back, and
The love within the walls of schools can never be matched, but many different people will try to stop it. Students and staff will survive these trying times by rising above and building bonds that can never be broken.